Greetings, friends. I'm DJ, and we have just hit 400 subscribers. In one of my recent videos, I said I wanted to hit 400 by the end of this month, and you all have pulled through. Thank you very much for doing that. Over the past year and a half, I have started making videos on my newest cosplays, but I have made some in the past. So for this video, I just wanted to quickly go over the costumes that I have made based on Jason Voorhees. So let's just go over everything that I have with me. For starters, we have this thing, which is actually an amalgamation of several of my earliest costumes that I've made. And I say that because when I first started it, it was simply just this green t-shirt that I owned that I just smeared paint on to look like blood and dirt. And then with that, I have this old sweatshirt that my father gave me that I also just tore to shreds and just baked in paint. Over the years, I just kept adding more and more rips and tears to it. I want to say I started this around like 2008, 2009 when I first saw the Friday the 13th movies. At some point, I added this green work shirt and gray pants that I picked up from a swap meet, I believe. I wasn't really basing this off of any specific film. I just knew, like, oh, jacket. Oh, I know he usually wears gray pants or black pants or whatever. Oh, there's a work shirt that he wears. And in the time that I was using these as just a Halloween costume, over time I did just keep adding more and more rips and tears and paint just to make it look more and more worn out and dirty. Although I'm surprised I still have this one, considering that at least the base of it is more than 15 years old at this point. Going from that first one to this next one, there is an extreme jump in quality, at least that's what I believe. Now this one, as some of you might notice, is based off an actual film. This is a Jason Lives styled costume. If you've seen my other subscriber specials, you know I have a Jason Lives styled mask and hood, and both of those I got around the same time that I made this thing. Again, this was made around 2016, 2017, so I had like almost a decade of messing around with my first cosplay, and I had gotten to a point where I just wanted to make something new, and that's when I decided to make this one. Funny enough, this one is actually a collaboration between me and my father. I brought up the idea of making a film accurate costume with him, and so we each did a little bit of research and brought together this whole thing. We both put in money for the clothes and the mask and the hood. And interestingly, this one I've actually never worn because it's all his sizes. This is also the first time I decided to use reference photos for a costume. And this is also one that over the years I have slightly updated. If you remember with my part 3 cosplay, I used some gray acrylic paints to try and add some, I guess, fading or a more dusty weathering to it. That I had initially used on this one here and thought that it looked pretty good. Although again, looking at it in front of me versus looking into the camera, it sticks out so much more on my iPhone. And the base is the same as my parts 3 and 4 costume. It's a Dickies work shirt and work pants. With the part 6 costume being a more involved design for Jason, I also have the equipment or ancillary materials for it. Now the gloves I already have, they're just gardening and work gloves. The knife and machete were bought from a hardware store. The belt and pouch was bought online from a military surplus store, and the throwing darts are dowels with little fishing lures attached to them. Now this is one some of you should be a bit more familiar with, at least ones that have been subscribed to me for a bit longer. This is the first cosplay that I did for my channel. Now with this one, it really came out of just like a want to get back into the horror and costuming scene. Originally, I had thought of making a part 3 cosplay, but that would just tread ground with the part 6 cosplay that I already had with the costume design. And that made me realize that I haven't gone back to just the beginnings. So I had started researching just like the costumes of the films and what materials were used and what actual clothes. And that just made me look into like, can I find the shirt that was used in part 2? I know there's like 2 different versions that was used in it. And obviously I couldn't, at least not at the time. I know there are people that custom make clothes that are designed to look screen accurate, film accurate. But as I was browsing on eBay, I had found this shirt, and I was like, wow, that's actually pretty close. It has the medium blue, dark blue checkered pattern, it has the white striping. Like, at a glance, someone could think that this is film accurate. And that's what made me choose to just make a whole ensemble for the film. And what made me decide on making a video of it was 2 things. One, I had already started experimenting with various YouTube videos. I was doing like unboxing reviews. I was editing some streams together. Shortly after this, I started planning to make like a Let's Play series. So this seemed like something that could blend in with all the experimental stuff I was doing at the time. And the other thing that had made me decide to do this was my, again, part 6, the hockey mask that I made for it. I genuinely forgot like the full method that I used to make it. Like, it's the pride and joy of my collection of stuff that I made, and I don't remember the exact methods that I used. I could take a guess at what I did knowing my own style, but like exactly what had just slipped my mind over the years. So part of the reason was to just keep a record of how I made these. But yeah, this is a start to my modern era of cosplay making. This one is all on my channel, but we have like just some basic acrylics yet again, mostly blacks. I did a little bit of fraying on the sleeves. I sanded the whole thing slightly, even though it doesn't really show on this type of material, but it does hold up together quite well. And now we're getting into a bit of a deja vu territory. Continuing on from part 2 was my part 3 cosplay. For this one, I tried to, again, get film accurate clothes. Didn't really work. Couldn't find the Big Mac shirt in my size. They're all like the large, medium large size, which is like way too tight, even without like the undershirt and the hood. But yeah, for this one, I just kind of went back to my part 6 cosplay and tried to expand upon what I did with that one. Again, in the video here, you could see the gray acrylic that I put on it. Like, it stands out to an incredible amount on film. But other than that, I am very satisfied with this. Honestly, not much to say on this because both of this, the last and the next, are all up on my channel in a lot more depth. And especially with this and the next one, because the only difference is the shirt, so I might as well go grab that one right now. And this brings us to my most recent cosplay as of filming this. You wouldn't be mistaken if you thought there was no real difference between this one and the last one, as the only updated piece of clothing is the work shirt. This is my part 4 the final chapter cosplay, and to try and make it different from my part 3 cosplay, in addition to learning about my mistake with the gray acrylic, I had also tried to soak in watered down acrylic paints into the shirt itself and all the clothes underneath it. Unfortunately, it doesn't stand out much, but in addition to adding the wear and tear, I suppose, I also used my Fierce City Creation blood paint to just add some spattering, some character to it. And I do think that does work out pretty well. Just a nice little touch to it. The main difference between this and the work shirt for my part 3 is, for my part 3, one different color, I took off one of the chest flaps to match the look in part 3. And the main difference is that this one I actually got in a size larger. For my part 3, I actually got one that was a size down from my own size to try and make it look tighter, to try and match the look that Richard Brooker had in the film. But with this one, I tried to go for something that was more of my size, more well-fitting. And it's a mix with these design shirts, because in some spots it's tight, some spots it's loose, some spots it's fine. Like the sleeves, they If you just reach your arms out, they would shorten up a little bit, which is a nice look for this version of Jason, but there was a lot of bagginess under the pits and on your sides. So a mixed bag, but I personally do like it. And since we're celebrating 400 subs, I guess I could announce my next cosplay project, which would probably be extremely easy to guess, considering my previous works. But yes, I am going to start working on a Part 5 Roy Jason. I have already ordered a mask blank, as well as I've narrowed down to what type of overalls I'll be using. As with my last cosplays, I haven't been able to find a vintage version of what was used in the film, so I am going for something that looks similar to it, but something that is available currently on the market. Although I would like to ask of you, my viewers, put it down in the comments. I am torn between taking my Part 3 mask and modifying it into a multi-purpose hood for both like Part 3, Part 5, and probably whatever this Jason universe thing is that's happening. That's a whole bag of worms I'm probably gonna get into farther in the future. Again, leave it down in the comments what your thoughts are. I'm slightly leaning to the modified Part 3, as that would save like $100, considering that's like almost double what the other pieces of this cosplay are gonna cost together. But yeah, that is for the future, however soon or far that is. And with that said, if you like this video, leave a like down below. And if you could, leave a comment down below, giving me your thoughts on that. If you'd like to see more of my videos, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to stay up to date on all future videos and posts. I guess now that we've hit 400, let's shoot for 450 by Halloween and 500 by the end of the year. I have been DJ. Farewell, friends.